Andrew's Education Adventures.
And today we have our guest, Dennis Raymond. He's our first department chair guest that we've had in our series. And so we wanted to get his perspective as well as so many other things as a history teacher. So Dennis, thank you for joining us today.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
And so I know I've already given away a little bit, but why don't you go ahead and tell us your official role and what you teach here at Paloma?
Currently, my official role is history teacher. Predominantly, my schedule is AP U.S. History. Right now, I also have a couple of U.S. History classes. But in the past, I've taught AP Econ, AP Gov, not very well, World History, and regular Econ, regular Gov as well. So, but most of my time is spent with the AP U.S. History kids. So speaking of AP, I know last year we left early, and this year we're not going to be back. So how does that change your AP thought, and what's different this year in preparation? Well, right now I just realized that the lecture series that I'm doing right now I didn't get to do last year because grace and flexibility and do no harm. But I'm finding that the delivering of the content is more challenging for me because of the black dot thing, and probably more challenging for them because it doesn't lend itself to interactive body language, interactive comments. And so I don't know how receptive they are to the information and how well I'm actually delivering the information. And so I am skeptical, but optimistic that they will be able to do well when the AP exams roll around in about a month.
As someone who's done AP for a while, Dennis, do you find that what the College Board has done to adjust for the pandemic, this coming testing window, the resources, the adjustments to the test, do you think it's fair? Do you wish they did more? What's your opinion on how they've adjusted?
This school year, the College Board, I think, has done a tremendous job in providing tools for us AP teachers to utilize with our students. The My AP site that we can assign quizzes, exams, provide progress checks for the students so that they can do some things independently to help themselves prepare. And they have also provided some accommodations for the exam testing moving forward here in May. They're actually providing the opportunity that they can come on campus to do their online AP exam, but with perhaps reliable Wi-Fi and without the distractions of little brothers, little sisters, and who knows what else. Yeah. But also the school district stepping up this year and paying for every AP exam for every student in the district is phenomenal. So I've been trying to really encourage my students to take advantage of this gift that has been offered up in this wild and weird time. Well, Andrew, how are your students doing and being motivated and getting prepared?
Well, I would say similar to Dennis is I've forced them in some ways to, through assigning extra credit for some of the different things on there. And even UCR's AP readiness program, my students have taken a lot of advantage of this semester, actually both semesters. So we'll see what that translates to on the test.
I know I haven't started using that AP, the online College Board stuff that's provided. I've been looking at it, and I need to start assigning it, but we've just been trying to get through this. But I feel the same. I'm cautiously optimistic that the students who want to prepare, that I feel like they've had the opportunity this year in a different way to get prepared.
Yeah. Speaking of motivation, we're recording this the Wednesday after spring break. So how are you guys the first few days back from spring break? How are your students appearing or not appearing?
My attendance seems really solid.
Good.
I meet with my AP kids 4 days a week live every day. And so we have a Google Meet, and so I can see who's joined the Google Meet. At least they're logged into the Google Meet. Nice. How about you guys? Are you seeing the same? One of my sons that's at school here told me yesterday when we were driving home from practice, he says, I just haven't felt motivated to do my work this week. Yeah, he's like, I've done half, and then he had a hedge on half. I don't think he's even done that much. And he's normally he will stay up Monday night and Tuesday night as late as we'll let him because he tries to get everything done ahead of time. He's like, I'm just not feeling it, Dad. Yeah. So, and I feel like his feeling is the feeling of most of my, at least I think all my classes are kind of feeling that way. So,
yeah.
Okay.
Mine is a mix. There's some who are definitely more motivated because of the grading period ending this Friday. and then others are definitely not still quite in there. So it's a mix, but yeah. So Dennis, what do you like best about your department?
It's kind of a loaded question because you're here, Andrew. I think as teachers, we're always trying to contextualize information and make it relevant to our high school students. What I find fascinating with this social science department is every one of us is keeping up to the current events and trying to figure out ways in which to contextualize the history or the geography or the economics or the government to the lives of our students. But that also translates into conversations that we have informally as department members, which is one of the things I miss is that informal drop-in nutrition break conversations that we would have. And everyone seems to be informed. And there's just this strong degree of professionalism with my department members. But I would say the greatest thing I love about this department, and I'm not saying other departments don't have it, but the department members in social science genuinely care about our students. It's not necessarily always about the content, but it's about the student.
That's great.
And that's huge. I mean, the students know that. They feel that when we bring that to them, that we care about them as an individual, not about, like for me, a mathematician. Like, yeah, I'm going to teach math, but I care about you and your future. Yeah. Trying to help you get success.
As a department chair, how different has your role been during this pandemic as a department chair versus previous years?
One, I'm always, in my position, I'm supposed to advocate for everyone in my department and advocate for the students that are taking the classes in our department. It has changed in the sense that it's easier for the teachers to self-advocate right now because we're doing things digitally. We're sending emails to admin or talking about course selection or things like that. And so I think I've done less of that. There's still the PLCs, and department chairs are still expected to help organize and set the agenda for PLCs. And it's really tough on Friday afternoons, especially after the PDs that we're doing. Even though the PDs are great, we're getting computerized. And it's tough to sit through another meeting on a Friday at 1:50 and really try to get something meaningful done. So that's been a struggle for me, that it was a lot better when it was Monday mornings in person, a little bit fresh, weekend conversations.
Now, you've been a teacher how long at Paloma?
Oh, my goodness. I started teaching here in August of 2002. Okay. Prior to that, I taught for 8 years in the Central Valley of California at a small high school, Coalinga High School, home of the Horn Toads. And the student population when I started at that high school was about 740 students. And in 2000, my son was born. And in April of 2002, my daughter was born. And we were really compelled to get closer to my family and my wife's family, who are from Poway. So fortunately, I had the opportunity to come here to Paloma, where several of my high school teachers were teaching. The Gail Simpsons, the Rhett Grays, the Paul Millars, the Craig Lynns, Les and Sharon Jenkins were all actively teaching here, and those were all teachers that I had when I was at Paris High School or Paris Junior High. Wow. So it was kind of cool, and it made it easier to find a home here.
That's really amazing. That just reminds me, like, I know we've talked about it, I think, on the show, but definitely just how cool it is to have so many alumni come back to our campus, especially the last, 4 to 5 years.
Yeah.
It's like, feels like out of graduate back on as a teacher. Yeah. And it's so cool to just have them be here and get to see how they developed. And then it really does make it feel like a family.
So if you couldn't be a teacher, Dennis, what would be your career?
The two things besides teaching that I felt that I had been good at, that probably would have gone down that path. One of them would have been a truck driver, but not like an over-the-road truck driver, but more maybe like heavy haul specialized. I was fortunate enough to earn a commercial driver's license when I was 20 years old. But more than likely, I would have been a farmer. Oh. And if I would have followed that path, because I had an opportunity, after I finished my credential, I returned out to this area, worked in agriculture. I was a ranch foreman. And the farmer that I worked for was just getting into the dairy business. He has since relocated to northern Texas, where he has 2 large dairy operations and farms thousands upon thousands of acres. I had an opportunity to come in as a partner when I was 25 years old. And I decided that I should use my teaching credential and follow where my heart really was. So I probably would be a farmer right now in North Texas.
Wow. Since you're multi-talented that way, Dennis, and as we say in our department, history has a way of repeating itself, or at least the past is one of the best ways to predict the future. We thought we'd use you as the sage on the stage to do a few predictions. So Joe and I are going to fire off a few questions and see what your prediction is. Are you ready for this, Dennis?
All right. Let me get my globe of wisdom out.
This is Around the World with Dennis Raymond.
Yeah, global. Okay, in the fall, you predict our schedule will be what?
Not hybrid, 100% in person, like the good old days.
All right. Liberty High School's opening next year. And obviously, we've had a year and a half of go to school if you feel like it. Will Paloma Valley's student population go up, go down, or I guess you could head to the middle, stay the same?
I predict that Paloma Valley's student body population will only see a small decline because parents in the community know and the students know that they want to be here at Paloma Valley.
That's right. Okay.
That's right.
Okay, what will be the hot trend that students will be wearing in the fall when we come back to this, hopefully open classroom thing that you're talking about?
Okay, so the easy answer would be fashion masks.
Okay, fashion masks. There you go. That's the easy answer.
That's the easy answer.
True.
Okay. Oh, gosh. Yeah, it's right up my alley. Yeah, because I'm Mr. Fashionista here. Let's see. They are going to be wearing Russian soldier hats. It's going to be a thing.
Perfect.
Oh, that's funny.
Okay, I love it. All right, how many teachers are coming back on a campus with a new vehicle that is electric?
Ooh, they're going to follow the Tom Ashley trend.
The Tesla?
All right. Coming back in the fall with new electric vehicles, not just the Tesla, but all kinds of different ones. My prediction is 8.
8. Okay.
8. We already got Cass.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Ashley, I don't know who else has one right now, but 8 new ones.
At least 8. Okay.
Nice.
All right, and last one, Dennis. This is your free for all. Like, what any prediction that we didn't ask that you in your head you just think we should know about?
Justin Bieber and Taylor Swift are going to get married in 2021.
Oh, isn't Justin Bieber already married to somebody else?
Like that's important. He's Canadian. Come on.
He's Canadian. We apologize, Canada. Any of our viewers in Canada? As if we have any.
We might now.
Who knows? Thanks, Dennis, for your predictions. Obviously, you're well-read. You get a lot of different information. What is something that you've been reading, watching, listening to that you find especially entertaining or inspiring lately?
I anticipated this question because I've watched your previous episodes, and that is one of the things you asked. So I actually, in anticipation, brought 2 books. One that both of the books were recommended by colleagues in my department. This one, Stamped from the Beginning, it's kind of, it's really timely. Stamped from the Beginning really does an in-depth study and narrative about the slave trade into America and the lasting effects. Now, I am only about halfway through it, but for myself, it's a very riveting read.
Okay.
Just not riveting enough for me to get through it yet. The other book that I'm going to read afterwards is The Parasitic Mind, How Infectious Ideas Are Killing Common Sense.
Oh.
I've been told this is a very easy read. It's a lot shorter. God Sod is the author, and so I'm looking forward to reading this one next. So I've been taking the recommendations of department members and trying to fill my time with that. I'm trying to stay away from the social media, the negativity, and focus on positivity and solutions and things like that.
Yeah, that's good.
Oh, now, what am I watching? I think that was the second part of the question. My wife and I are suckers for women's soccer. So last night, the women's national team played against France in a friendly. We're recording it. We're watching it. So we do have kind of a vested interest because our daughter is a Fullerton Titan Wildcat soccer player. And so we've just kind of been led down that path the last decade or so.
We have that one more. We ask a lot of times, what's motivating you to, like, for the rest of the semester? We've got 6.5 weeks left. What's going to help you drive to the end?
What has really been motivating me this semester, probably in the last 6 weeks, is that there is some student return here on campus. Probably about 6 weeks ago after school, I was walking to my truck in the scout parking lot, and I saw cross-country runners running on campus in uniform and some people cheering them on from a great distance. And I was like, wow, this is kind of normal. Students are on campus where I really hope that they can return soon. And then we started off with football for a bit, then it got canceled, came back. Track and field, I'm helping out with track and field right now. And so I'm able to be out there with students in a different capacity. Having that has really motivated me to want to get through this semester in the hopes that, in part, the test of having the kids on campus, students on campus, and seeing how well that is working out will help pave the way to a more normalized August and getting the students back in the classroom and getting to know who they are.
That was awesome. That was one thing, getting to come back and coach. I have a lot of softball players in my classes this year, and they started practicing right when cross country did too. So getting to meet them, like in person, like real face, that was so cool.
Yeah.
You know, and then I saw, I was at the DMV for Caleb's test last Friday, which he passed. So got a license. But in line, waiting to come in to take her permanent test was the student I had last year, and it was just so cool to be like, oh yeah, this is why we do it. You know, we get to have these relationships, and like we know these people in our community, and we get to see them grow up, and it's really cool. I miss it really badly, but little hints, little teases of it,
right?
Like, just make me hungry for more.
Well, everybody, thank you for watching. Dennis, thank you for being with us today and on this crazy adventure.
Let's keep learning. Okay, who's gonna win the World Series first? From here into the future, the Los Angeles Dodgers or the Los Angeles Angels?
Oh, as much as it pains me to say this, because I'm a Southern California sports fan, but I've always been an Angel fan first, but the Dodgers for a repeat. Yeah, gotta happen.
All right, Dennis, as an econ teacher and major, if I remember right.
Minor, yeah.
Will Bitcoin continue to climb, or some other cryptocurrency start to get in on its?
Okay, Coinbase, which just went public today, which is the 14th of April. I predict that Coinbase cryptocurrency is going to skyrocket. Dogecoin is on the climb, but it's going to flatten out. Bitcoin is going to take a dive. Now, the reason that Dogecoin has taken a strong rise is because the same Reddit people who did GameStop, they're doing it with the Dogecoin. So I don't know how long that's going to last.
Okay.
It's fair.
Is that German, by the way? Dogecoin?
DOGE coin.
Sounded German.
Not Deutsch, but Deutsch. Doge. I don't know.
All right. Well, I just had a little memory there about wanting to feel needed. I wanted to share, this is maybe 2 years ago. I had some students, and they were like, you know, like a lot of you guys do, you give advice to your students, general advice about life or whatever. These girls afterwards, they said, you know, you and Mr. Raymond, you guys are like the dads on the campus. You always have good advice, but you always just encourage us. So we're the dads that don't yell. They're like, yeah, or whatever. It was pretty cool. I thought it was pretty cool. It was a high compliment coming from those students. So,
and I'm school at my age, I can take that.
Yeah.
I can
Right?
take that.
Yeah. We're not young men anymore.